We both work full time and also constantly running around to jiu-jitsu, baseball, basketball, and football activities for our boys. But we always make time for each other. We talk about life and our marriage, how to make it work by staying positive, remembering the life, things that are worse, health issues, family problems, money struggles, and whatever other shit life throws us. So stay up. 1, 2.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
We're finally back. We're in the new studio kitchen.
The new shit. It's episode 7.
If this doesn't sound any better than before, then we wasted some money. But it's worth it because we're not both hunched over a tiny little ball microphone.
And
we each have our own.
I get to look at your face, kind of.
Yeah, and I don't have to break my neck worse to hunch over that little snowball. I'm standing and I feel like I'm Bert Weiss from the Bert Show.
I'm jealous. We don't have my stand yet for me to...
No, you're sitting like a little bat while I'm standing like a champion.
I know. You are such a champion. Yeah. We are married AF.
Yeah, I gotta jump right into something here, though, that
always
has been on my mind.
I feel like you're going to let me have it.
No, it's this March for Our Lives. Try to not be overly political on this
Please don't.
show, but I can't help myself with some of the BS on this. Have you listened or watched anything about this?
No, I don't have time to listen or watch much except for our accoutrement of shows. So, no. I've seen you on your phone reading furiously about March for Our Lives and Googling certain things. But no, I have not. I've seen flashes of it, as I walk by TVs in the break room sometimes at the office, but that's it.
Well, I prefer to march for facts and things that are correct. And it makes me sad more for these kids that are getting pimped out by an agenda of adults that bothers me the most. I mean, these kids have every single right to protest whatever they want. That's fine. But when are they going to school? How are these kids getting out of school so much? Is my first question.
Okay, here's the March for Our Lives was in response to the school shooting in Florida, right?
Parkland.
So I don't see anything wrong with kids wanting to feel safe in school.
Sure.
That seems valid.
Yeah.
But I don't think they fully understand the gun control laws that they are marching for, unless you are in a community or a family. Like, I know I asked Jordan if they did the walkout that one day, a couple weeks ago, where everybody was doing it. Was before March for Our Lives. It was like we're national, everybody, certain schools, but they were all going to do a walkout. And I asked Jordan because, her dad, my brother-in-law, manages a gun store, and they obviously aren't against guns and are for the Second Amendment. Is that the right one?
Yes.
Okay. And I asked her if she participated in it or if her school did, and she said that they just had everybody like gather out in the bleachers or so. It was like an organized kind of version of it, but it wasn't, because everybody at her school essentially is not going to get up and walk against guns. I think it just depends on where you are in the country too for that. But this whole march, I don't know necessarily if all the young kids understand necessarily what they're marching for, and that the media is pimping them out to try and get stricter gun laws. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, kind of. They have no idea what they're really...
No.
They're justifiably upset. They had a tragedy there. I mean, I can only imagine. That's fine. I'm even okay if they think they have a problem with guns and want stricter gun control, that's fine. That's your right to want that. Mm-hmm. But you have to know the issue before you can claim to have a problem with it. And that's where my problem with the March for Our Lives sits, is I've researched it, listened to all the speeches given, and not a single one of those kids presented an option for a change, like an idea or a plan or a proposition. They're all just angry spokespeople, which the media, the rich left, the celebrities, and all the people wanting to push their socialist ideas on people love that. Just put these angry kids on TV that are hurting and emotionally damaged.
Which rightfully so, but...
Of course, but you can't... It's basically bastardizing them for their gain. I mean, you got kids, I looked at all of them. I found 10 different examples of kids with signs that said, we're not, I'm paraphrasing here, but either said ban all automatic weapons or ban all assault rifles.
Fully automatic weapons are banned.
Exactly. Ban all fully automatic weapons. So if 10 of them are there for that fact,
just go
they're
home.
Protesting nothing.
You won.
You've already won that. And then there were...
You did it.
And I stopped at 10 on purpose. And then I researched another topic on the protest of interviews with some of these kids, asking them questions about why they're protesting.
Yeah. From
different sources. Left, right, middle of the road, websites and news outlets. Interviewing the kids, asking them if they knew what they were protesting. And so this example, they said they were protesting assault rifles. They wanted them banned, which is fine, cool. So then the interviewer asked them, well, what is an assault rifle? Mm-hmm. They didn't know. They couldn't even tell. They couldn't even give an example. Some of them had heard the word AR-15 before.
And assumed that it was still
and could maybe throw that in there, as what they're talking about. But, I mean, you can go back to Bill Clinton, who had the assault rifle ban when he was in office, which was fine. Anything that made it look a certain way. And so all people did to get around that was have the same gun I have, an AR-15, but took the forward grip off the handle. So now it's no longer an assault rifle. Changes nothing. People will dance around it, and that's the kind of crap that's going to get through that makes absolutely no difference. But they don't even know that.
Yeah.
And so that's not fair at all. But then today what put me over the top was you had CNN with a quote from a Supreme Court justice that's retired talking about how easily it would be to get rid of the Second Amendment.
What?
Like, just completely. That's how they could get their gun control.
Abolish the Second Amendment.
To get rid of the Second Amendment.
And are they saying just, not let anybody have any guns?
Yeah, get rid of it, and then they can make new gun laws. Because there's no amendment for everyone to cite for their right to bear arms. Okay. So just get rid of it. Which is, okay, fine, whatever. That would never happen. No. You have to have way too many votes to even change the Constitution. And it would never go through. But it's a dangerous slope because these people that are saying, on the left, saying that we should get rid of the Second Amendment, now that that's an issue. And their justification is we get rid of it because the 18th century, when this was written, they didn't have the technology and the weapons that we have now, comparatively, so they would have never known. It wasn't intended for you to have this caliber of weaponry as a citizen.
Right.
Let's say that that's valid, which it's not. Let's just say it is, because back then they had damn muskets and
bayonets,
and
you get
the
stabbed
basics.
and shot.
So let's go with that frame of thought for a second and say that happened. Somehow that got through, right? Well, then all we got to do is, flip the script. You open that can of worms and you want that abolished. So then we flip around. We can say the same thing about the First Amendment, which is your right to free speech, free press, religion. Mm-hmm. Because in the 18th century, they didn't have Twitter. They didn't have Facebook. They didn't have CNN. So we'll just get rid of that too, and then there'll be no journalists that can tell these stories and push these agendas. So it's a fucking nightmare, and it's a pipe dream, and it's all bullshit. That blows my mind that it gets any steam, and these kids are the victims in it.
But here's my view on it, though. And this might just be super cynical or naive, whatever. My view is this whole effort for March for Our Lives isn't going to amount to shit anyways. So it's a big fucking waste of time. Unless, I mean, you said that there was some kind, I mean, the bump stock thing being banned. That was already in progress before all this, though, right? That was after Vegas.
Yeah, but Trump doing that is getting no love, but that's pretty big for a conservative, gun-loving,
it is,
but president.
Didn't even like the NRA support that?
No. I mean, they don't like it, but Trump is trying to play to the middle and be rational, and I'm all for that. That's fine. Yeah. Get rid of those things. I don't care about a bump stock. Anything that makes a semi-automatic weapon fire like a fully automatic weapon, get rid of it.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. And that's fine. And if they were offering any kind of solution or middle ground, I would have a lot more understanding, because I have no problem with letting the younger generation lead have some sort of platform. That's all cool. I'm totally fine with that.
Well, that's what's fucked up about like this. Whoever was the puppet master behind all this is that they're like, oh, I know how we're gonna get shit done. Let's get a bunch of kids that were just traumatized by this terrible thing that happened, throw them out in the public eye, but not give them the tools they need to even seem like they know what they're talking about. Just shove them out there to start protesting, and everybody will cave because it's kids. And
well, it's simple. Look at your history. Go back. You can just go back to Hitler. He's the most recent one. He disarmed his people, so of course he could rule them, massacre them. He disarmed them, and you know how he did it? He said it was for the kids. He had pictures of kids. It was all over his propaganda shit. It was about kids. And it's simple, and it's gross, and it's a similar version being done with these kids, because you can give them their airtime, correct them when they make some mistakes, let them vent their frustrations, because who they should be pissed at, justifiably, is the FBI, their local police.
No, that fucking deputy that was outside the school and didn't do a goddamn thing.
Their county.
That's who
is who dropped the ball and ruined a lot of lives and family members by letting this kid fall through the cracks. But these kids are getting their interviews and their 15 minutes of fame over an issue that's not the real issue. I would be beside them if they were sitting outside their damn county sheriff's department as a group, pissed off, throwing rocks, whatever they're doing, being angry mob about that sheriff that still has a job.
He still has. I thought he got.
No, I mean, people have been calling for his resignation. I haven't heard that he's resigned.
I mean, come on, motherfucker.
He's still there.
You had, what's that shit on it? You had one job: protect the damn kids in that school, and that's the last straw against all the other stuff you just said. Where that asshole that went in there fell through the cracks time and time again. All these red flags showing that shit's wrong with him.
I mean, what's gross about it is the fact that sheriff was at the first town hall after the tragedy, where they basically crucified Marco Rubio. Remember, we watched it, and he stood his ground.
Every word he said,
but
they were
he just roasted everyone else. It was a total political move. And come to find out, all the fuckery that falls under him and his responsibilities, and none of the kids are bringing him up. They're bringing up the guns. And it's, they're just being misled.
None of the kids that were impacted are bringing up the sheriff that didn't come in to help them.
Well, a couple of them, but they're being silenced. They're not getting the airtime because it's not sexy. There's one of them that I forget his name. He's given a couple of interviews. He's a, smart kid. He can see through the bullshit. And he's like, it's not the guns. We have holes in our system. We have mental health issues. We have problems with tips not being followed up on between the FBI, between our local police presence. Nobody's running with this shit because it's not sexy and it's not cool. I mean, you had the March for Our Lives ended up being a bigger moment for celebrities and their tweets showing up, pictures, than the Oscars, because nobody watched that shit anymore either. But they sure showed up in droves to show their support and look, super sensitive and tolerant. And it just grosses me out to think about that. I have no problem that people that don't like guns. Cool. I mean, whatever. Don't have a problem with it. But you can't start a fight or an issue about constitutional rights, and you got to know what's going to happen on the other side. And they're starting to fuck with things that just can't be undone. And you can't look at the Second Amendment and think that that's the only one that would be focused on. If we opened up that worm can, we'd be fucked. We'd just be fucked. Because it would, once you start...
They're not going to do that. You can't do that. You can't start,
No, but you can tie it up enough in the media to keep people pissed at each other.
Then it would be anarchy. Cats and dogs living together.
Yeah, but all that does is perpetuate the division that's already in this country. It makes...
That's all any of this shit does, is drive a bigger wedge between...
The virtue signaling that I'm sure I'll get from the few people that listen to this. If you question these kids, you're attacking them, which is bullshit.
If you challenge them.
Sure. Or just disagree with them. I have no problem with those kids personally.
No.
Even that David Hogg kid, whatever. Whatever they want to do, that's great. That's their rights. But they're wrong. They're inaccurate. And that's where the problem lies. And these people that still run their shit, knowing that they're not either given a full side of the story or they're not being accurate. There's bigger shit that could be making a difference with these young kids where they could really affect some change. Mm-hmm. If they were putting this kind of interest into something like getting rid of texting while they're driving. Mm-hmm. I was looking that up the other day. It's 11 teenagers die every day from that shit.
I don't doubt it.
So you add that up. If they were behind a cause like that and they could get this momentum, they would see everybody grab onto it. But, I just had to air my thoughts on it. It's frustrating to me. And I wish people could look at it not along any kind of a party line. Just look at the facts. Mm-hmm. And then make your choice. And if you still choose to not want guns, fine. We can still be friends. And you're never going to take people's guns in this country. You can do a lot of shit to Americans. But you're not going to take their guns.
That is not something
that's just never going to happen.
No.
And so to me, it just feels like a big waste of time and resources.
That's exactly what I just said earlier. Is that it's not going to really go anywhere, at least in the direction that they think that they want it to.
Agreed.
But let's move on because I can't handle much That's the most political discussion, the longest duration ever that I've been a part of. I feel like.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I dropped some knowledge on you, and you feel a little more educated.
You always do.
You feel a little more confident, and you're welcome.
Anytime I have questions, you're the one I go to. You or my dad or Jim or.
Well, let's talk about the Walking Dead episode. Let's go ahead and tackle that bad boy.
All right.
The Walking Dead. We all know that's a hit. I just need to know if Rick will lose his shit. Morgan's a crazy bastard. We all know that. Need to kill him, motherfucker, with a baseball bat. Carl lost his life. I don't give a shit. I just want to know if Carol gonna let Daryl fuck. The Walking Dead. We all know that's a hit. I just need to know if Rick will lose his shit. Morgan's a crazy bastard. We all know that. Need to kill him, motherfucker. The Walking Dead. We all know that's a hit. I just need to know if Rick will lose his shit. Morgan's a crazy bastard. We all.
The Walking Dead on Sunday was really good. Randall had to remind me yet again about the guts being all over their weapons and used as biological warfare. I mean, yeah, it just keeps, for some reason, it's not that I can't buy into it, but it's like, it just.
Too many people have rubbed guts on their damn self.
Yes!
In the past.
It hasn't sunk into me as like, oh, that's a good idea, because
Carol would be dead 100 times.
Everybody on the fucking show would be, I mean, like, it's a known tactic since the first season when Rick and Glenn covered themselves in guts to walk through the middle of downtown Atlanta to get out of that department store building, whatever the fuck they were hiding in. But so it just, whatever. So you had to remind me yet again, after Carol was sitting there talking to Tobin, after we were like, oh, he got stabbed and now he's recovering, it's fine. After everybody goes to sleep that night, Randall mentioned to me again, oh, but everybody's fucked because all their weapons were covered in zombie guts. And I was like, God damn it. Like, why can't I remember this plot line that's pretty huge, especially now, because right after you said that, Tobin falls asleep and then you see him stop breathing. Sure enough, dies, turns, eats faces, and it's fucking, the shit hits the fan for real.
He may have been the biggest ass-kicking zombie I've ever seen.
Oh, because he's a big dude.
He took out more motherfuckers than I've ever seen one zombie take out in an episode.
Took out like 5 people. Like one dude took out like 5 people.
Usually the zombie will get somebody, then he's dead.
Yeah.
He got him. He went down swinging.
He's a big dude. So yeah, Carol had to take him out. He got into that. Yeah. Because he was in that little trailer. Ate like 3 people in there. Then he wandered on over to the house. Made it upstairs in the house. I didn't think they could really. I mean, I know they kind of stumbled their way up the stairs, but, yeah, he was kind of a badass. And so, I mean, yeah, shitload of people that got stabbed, wounded, whatever, while the saviors were there. They all died and turned, except for, so as soon as we see all this shit going down, then everybody's like, uh-oh. What about Tara? Because Tara got shot. So my immediate thought was that because at first we were like, why did Dwight shoot Tara? My immediate thought was that he was shooting her so she would like get out of the way of Simon. And then after all that stuff where everybody started turning, the thought was to me that he did it because he knew his arrow was not, like, he didn't cover his arrow in guts. So he was, again, saving her, potentially.
Of course, that's what it's going to be.
Because, I mean, like, here's the thing. Daryl and Rick, once they figure it out, they go in there to talk to Tara and are all, like, sad-faced. Like, basically everybody's like, oh, this means you're going to die. Which, I mean, everybody else that was impacted by this, if everybody else that was injured by the saviors had already died and turned. So
she would have had a fever or something.
She would have at least been sick. She was fine. She didn't even look sweaty. So, I mean, there's no way. And another thing, like, another theory that the chick that plays Tara brought up on The Talking Dead, which I don't know if it has any merit or not, is that she's like, well, you know, Gabriel got sick from being covered in guts or whatever, but then you see Negan with that big bucket that he got doused in it and he didn't get sick. So I guess she was saying that like maybe some people are like immune to it or something to that effect. I don't know. That seems a little bit far-fetched since like everybody else in the whole place that got injured died and turned. But yeah, I mean, it's either Dwight's arrow wasn't covered in guts or that everybody isn't affected the same way. But my money's on that Dwight just didn't cover his arrows in guts.
My theory is that they're going to come out and say that there has to be some sort of an opening for the guts to get into in order for it, which is why they're like shooting or stabbing them with stuff, that if you don't have an access point for whatever's in the shit.
Well, that's what I was saying,
But I think that's discredited because if they don't think that all the times Carol, Rick, and everybody's put guts on themselves.
Didn't get in your eyes or something.
Or they didn't have a scratch on them.
Right.
While living out in the zombie apocalypse. Right. They're crazy. However it's going to come out, I think it's a little bogus, but I like the episode. The last two have been good.
No, it was great. And honestly, I mean, it seems valid. You know, you get that nasty, decaying, rotten. I mean, if they bite you, you get infected and die. Logically, it seems valid, you know, that like their guts in your fluids, like in your eyes, if you get it in a cut, seems valid that it would get infected. But,
sure.
So the next, point that I wanted to talk about on this show. So, I mean, why that whole plan that they had, where like all of a sudden the saviors are like, where'd everybody go? It's all dark. They're in like a big group walking towards
a building full of windows,
walking towards the house. Like they're like shooting fish in a barrel. Nobody gets shot. The Hilltop folks start unloading on these people walking straight towards them when they have the vantage point. They don't even know there's people in the house with guns, pointing guns at them. And did anybody in that group get shot? Simon, for one, should have died because he was right in the front.
Everyone in the front row did not get hit.
Everyone in the front row 100% should be dead. Including Simon, including Dwight, including everybody that was in the front row. For sure Simon, because they know.
Even if Gunner is shooting from one of those windows, he's going to hit one of those three guys.
So Stevie Wonder shooting from one of those windows.
It's going to hit one of those.
Is going to hit somebody.
Agreed. It makes me laugh.
Annoys me to no end. The gunfights that happen where nobody gets shot. And like Rick running up on Negan, the episode before, Negan's getting out of the car, running about 15 feet to a door. Rick's walking up with a fully automatic weapon. I mean, that thing is not even, thing was...
He dumped 30 rounds.
Automatic.
Yeah, and he dumped at least 30 rounds.
Did not even graze him.
No.
So that shit's getting on my nerves lately. But I mean...
These people have top-notch evasion skills, obviously, and the fleetest feet on earth.
I mean, I don't know. That was just like, give me a break, please.
Yeah, and nobody in their right mind would have approached that building like that anyway. No group would be like, let's walk toward this 3-story building full
whistling.
Of windows.
He started doing where the saviors start whistling, like to announce that they're, you know, like, but anyways,
He's gonna die a horrible death soon, though. It's gonna be really bad.
He is quickly approaching his demise. Every episode, he's just digging his grave.
It's gonna be
even
ugly.
deeper. Like
he might be worse than the baseball bats when he dies.
You think?
God, yes. Negan's gonna end up killing him, or Maggie, or both. I think it'll either be Maggie kills him, or Negan.
Maggie wants Negan dead more because she saw Negan bash in Glenn's head. Of course. And so I really like Sadiq. Even every episode, I like Sadiq a little more. I feel like Rick is going to come around with Sadiq. But he's definitely a good dude. And I don't know what the fuck happened to Henry, that little kid. He's getting on my nerves. He's getting on my nerves the way that Carl used to when Carl was young. Like, why do all these kids think that they're invincible and that they are just gonna go out and start killing people and be fine? And I don't know. It annoys me.
Don't listen to their adults.
For fuck's sake, they don't listen to any adults. I mean, I guess because it's the apocalypse. They're like, why should I listen to anybody? But really, in reality, you should for sure listen to the people that have been out and surviving and allowing you to survive, keeping you alive.
Well, I mean, they also have to understand that they're the future of people.
Right.
I mean, the kids are the ones that are going to repopulate and start, grow society.
Yeah, Carl came around and he ended up,
My question with Carl, I was thinking about this in the car ride when I went to get Griffin, that chaps my ass, is Carl aged, and you can't stop him from aging. Because he was a young boy and he ended up being a young man.
Yeah, he was 10 when they started.
But everyone else, that show's been like 10 days.
It's been, in reality, I want to say, and I could be way off.
Just though from when Maggie got pregnant till Carl died, he changed. Because kids change like that at that age.
At his age, for sure. But literally, from when the show started, season 1, to season 8 that we're about to end, it's the whole timeline, I want to say, has been 2 years.
That's even more ridiculous. Carl went from a toddler.
Look at Judith. Look at Judith. Judith was conceived in season 1.
Yeah.
And I might even be like overshooting on how long it's been. But technically Carl was only supposed to be like 12. I think.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing they could do.
No. I mean, keeping him clean shaven is the closest, is the best you can do because he does have a baby face. But I mean, I'm sure that's why Kirkman was finally like, we got to kill Carl because
he's a man.
For fuck's sake. Yeah. He is literally a full grown man now. And So, Henry's gone though. They were looking for him at the end of the episode. Henry's gone. He had gotten knocked out. Gregory's a piece of shit because when he was leaving that caged area that the Sabres were in, he looked back, saw Henry on the ground, could have helped him, and of course didn't because he's a piece of shit.
That dude might be one of the best actors on their show, though, because he has made everyone hate him. He's such a slimeball, his character.
Absolutely.
He plays him so well.
Uh-huh.
Guys like that are underappreciated. He's a fucking awesome actor.
He is. He's very good.
Because I hate his guts.
He's very good.
Everyone does. That dude, when you can sell that kind of a supporting role, but he's a piece of shit.
He's a real piece of shit. Yeah.
And that's pretty impressive.
It really is. No, I mean, to make everybody hate your guts that much. And he's not even a bad guy that's also charming like Negan. He's just a straight up slimy piece of shit that is a subhuman. Yeah. But my guess with Henry is that he maybe the saviors that bounced, the one that killed his brother, that long-haired one.
That's probably what you're right.
Took him
Saving him.
Maybe saved him, or maybe just took him as like some kind of ransom. Because that guy is 1,000,000% like I am Negan savior dude. The other guy that hung back and like was burying the saviors, he looks really familiar too, the kid that plays him, and I don't know why. He looks like maybe somebody that's related to somebody that was on like Beverly Hills 90210. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't put my finger on it, but he reminds me of somebody, or I've seen him somewhere, but I think I'm buying his act. Maybe it's not an act on being on Maggie's side and trying to, you know.
I think he does, because they're really trying to push hard to sell this Maggie's such a good leader. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just don't buy it. I'm weird with Maggie.
Yeah, you have something against Maggie for some reason.
I just don't buy it, and I'm harsh. I can admit it, that I'm tough to win over.
Are you being sexist? Is it because she's a
God no, because you put damn
Carol,
hardcore Michonne or Carol up there, and I believe it.
Yeah,
Michonne, when she was straight up
gangster,
when she got introduced up until last year, she was the baddest motherfucker on that show. To me, the most hardcore in the fight time. Yeah. She was the biggest ball sack of them all.
Yeah, she's definitely my hero with like taking on just a gaggle of walk, because the samurai sword, you can't beat that shit. I mean, she'll just slice and dice those bitches all over the place.
But she also had no fear.
None.
And that's kind of, I mean, I know they have to change them up and all that shit, but Maggie she never looks comfortable enough with the gun, to me. It never looks right. And so, I don't know. It's just my personal thing.
Oh.
So fuck Maggie.
It was a really good episode though, and I mean, I just want to give Rick a hug. Literally it's been like 24 hours to them since Carl died, and you can tell he's still, of course, because it's been 24 hours since his son died, but I mean, it's, I just want to hug him, and he's still my dude.
No, I like Rick in this mode. He's better this way.
Yeah.
At least he's not closed off in his head, Rick.
No.
That shuts down and starts trembling and gets real red in the eyes.
He's still wanting to get shit done. And
he's still kicking ass.
Yeah. But I told you right at the beginning of the episode, we were not going to see any Negan or Jadis or find out what that was all about.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the next episode, I suppose. But I guess next week probably has to be the season finale.
It is.
Yeah. So they'll for sure have to show all that.
Oh, yeah.
But
I liked it, though. I've liked the last two. I like at least that they're ending strong. And because they were in a shit lull this season.
They do that they do that on purpose.
They're smart. They fucking know that their base isn't going nowhere.
If you keep looking down to write shit,
I'm doodling.
But you're doing that and then you talk and you're way far away from the microphone.
This expensive equipment is going to make up for that.
I'm going to kick you in the shins. I'm going to walk over there and kick you in the shins if you keep doing that, because it's driving me nuts.
Continue.
I'm done. That was it for The Walking Dead. I don't know if I missed anything.
No, I like the episode. I'm definitely back in. I'm more super stoked, though, for when this is over and we go in, because Roseanne is back tonight, and I recorded it.
Really?
20 years later, they're starting it again.
Yeah. Is what's his face? I saw, what's her name? Darlene?
Yeah, everybody's
I saw her.
back.
Johnny Galecki from Big Bang?
I don't know if he's on. The original cast is all on it.
Sheldon's mom? Laurie Metcalf.
Becky. No, Becky's the daughter.
Becky's the daughter, but they had two different actresses that played
Yeah,
Becky.
yeah.
They had the chick from Scrubs and then the other
I think
chick.
they have the original Beck.
The original Becky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was fucking Sheldon's mom's name? She's the aunt in Roseanne. Jackie.
God bless. I was gonna say Aunt Rebecca, but I'm like, I can't be
it's
it.
Aunt Jackie.
Aunt Jackie. Yeah. I love her.
Yeah, I think she has become Sheldon's mom to me, though.
She is
more
Sheldon's
so
mom.
than Aunt Jackie.
For
sadly.
sure. She's amazing as
John
Sheldon's
Goodman
mom.
will always be Dan, though.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I didn't remember that they had killed him off at the end.
Yeah, they're just pretending that didn't happen.
As soon as you said that, though, I was like, oh my God, yeah, that was devastating.
It's horrible. He had a heart attack.
Devastating.
He killed everybody.
Like in the kitchen, didn't he have a heart attack?
I don't know. I just remember they died and it was so fucked up.
It's like, yeah,
How
that's
are you
just
going to kill Dan?
a downer.
So I'm stoked to see how they do it.
Yeah, we'll see. They're all old as fuck.
Yeah, but man, that show was the shit and underappreciated for years.
I love that show. Stop it.
I loved Roseanne.
I
Way more than you did.
You might have. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you on the amount of love you feel for that show. I do want to say that I am liking American Idol a little bit more now. It's growing on me, those three.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not as bad as I thought either.
No, they're not. Lionel Richie for sure is the shit.
Lionel Richie, though, he can be won over so easily as a judge. He's just like, you know what? You're going to Hollywood.
Is he the Paula Abdul?
They don't even have to sing. Like, he's like, you know what? Look,
yeah.
you're going to Hollywood.
You're precious, and you remind me of somebody that I love.
You like the Commodores?
Yeah.
You're going to Hollywood. I feel like you have a lot of potential.
Oh, they sent that girl through because she was really pretty, and she sang a dog shit song.
And she sounded like dog shit. But she loved the Commodore.
But when she sang that Commodore song, when he went out there and sang it with her, they sounded good.
Not good enough to go to Hollywood.
No. But yeah, I mean, even like Katy Perry is growing on me. Like, she's just funny. What did she say the other night? She said something about like, I had all my emotions removed or something.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're growing on me. And of course, The Voice is always entertaining.
I just think Blake Shelton should run for president.
All right.
He's the best dude on earth.
He really is. He's like America's homie. Like,
who doesn't like him? You may not like his music, but if you've watched it and you say Blake Shelton is a dick, he's awesome.
Yeah, there's no way you can like legitimately believe that he's anything but a good dude.
Oh, 100%.
And he's just funny and like, I don't know.
Yeah,
him and Adam Levine's little bromance is precious.
It's made me like Adam Levine a lot more.
Oh yeah, well I've always liked Adam Levine.
Me too, but it's made me like him a lot more watching their banter. I don't care how many seasons they do, because they do a season back to back. They take a week off and launch a new season and change up the female judges.
That's it.
And Adam Levine dyes his hair. That's it.
He's dyed
enough
his hair
time
blonde.
to dye his hair and change the female judges.
Between the blind auditions and the knockouts, he did that 2 seasons in a row, hasn't he?
Yeah,
where he bleached his hair.
And then when they come back for lives, it's back to normal.
Back to normal.
It's his thing.
It's so weird. It must be like a weird ritual. And those silly Hawaiian shirts. But yeah, like it's the interchanging of the female judges. It doesn't matter who you put there, as long as the two of them are on the show, it's good to go. And I mean, whoever the female judges are, they always seem to fit into the dynamic just fine. I liked it when Gwen was on there. I could see why they wouldn't want to sustain that. I mean, but
no, it would get a little. Eventually, people would be like, "Oh my God, enough of you two."
I know,
awesome,
because they are like my new favorite celebrity couple.
Because they're us.
They really are.
And people notice that, and they tell us that.
They are us, yeah.
I get it. You know, I mean, I think the same thing.
They're like, yeah. They're the celebrity versions of us.
Yeah. And people would eventually be like, good God, this is making me throw up.
I know.
But, I mean, my favorite of the women judges, I love Alicia Keys. She's always good. And surprisingly, I like when Miley Cyrus is a judge.
I
hate
did-
to admit it.
Yeah.
Because she is a little sexual deviant, but
She's a piece of work. It was entertaining when Miley Cyrus was on to look at all the
ridiculous shit she'd wear.
ridiculous shit she
That
would
was
wear.
your favorite.
Oh my God. Every night it would come on and I'd be like, what the hell? Is she wearing curtains? What is that?
No, she'd wear some old bullshit for sure.
And I was a little annoyed when she was like, when they were all doing the duets with their contestants. And sure enough, when it was Miley's turn to do the duet with her contestant, I think the contestant Brooke that one time, and they sang her song Wrecking Ball, and Brooke had like very minimal like airtime. She sang like a couple words here and there, and basically it was Miley singing the whole song. I'm like, isn't this supposed to be showcasing your contestant rather than just putting on a concert?
Yeah, I mean, Miley, she disgusts me and all that.
But overall, I
she's
liked her.
entertaining, but
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely disgusts me in a lot of ways. Her stupid little, like, tongue out halfway thing and
That shit's all calculated.
her wink and all the bullshit is gross, but...
And I liked it when her dad came on as a mentor, of course. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, Billy Ray.
Yeah. But I liked Jennifer Hudson last season. But no shit. They finish a season and they take about 10 days off. And then they're like, The Voice is back with a brand new season.
And I'm fine with it.
It's just, it's like baseball to me. I feel like baseball is just year round, constantly happening. That's The Voice.
Basketball is more like that to me, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Either one, I guess. Yeah. But, what else are we... I'm trying to think of what else we have been watching.
Well, no, I was going to ask you what you thought of the Stormy Daniels interview.
I think it's pointless.
What you watched.
Yeah, but to me, all of this. There's the Stormy Daniels, and then there's that other lady, that Playmate lady that was on being interviewed, like either the night before or whatever. All of this, like, to me, who cares? I mean, I think we all knew, anybody who voted for Trump, anybody who didn't vote for Trump, knew what we were getting into when he became our president, is that he's not necessarily a great person as far as like the extracurricular things that he's done. This is the new like shit that we're having to deal with, electing a non-career politician.
I think it's going to happen no matter whether they're career or not. We got lucky with Obama. That's one thing I'll give Obama. He was a cool-ass dude, had a great marriage.
Yes.
I really don't think there's any chinks in that armor with his marriage and his family.
Totally
and I
agree.
totally respect that. He gave the presidency a very cool swagger. He's definitely our coolest president.
1
by
million
far.
%, yeah.
Spoke good, all that. No problems with Obama. I voted for Obama. A lot of people know
Me too.
that.
God, I miss listening to him speak.
With Trump, on your point, not a single, and I know a lot of Trump supporters, I don't think any of them be like, you know what, God, Trump is a good man.
No, that's
Nobody's,
what I'm saying.
I know. That's the whole point. You're not electing you got to elect the lesser of their political evils.
Exactly.
And what aligns closest, even though maybe 90% of their shit you don't agree with, but the 10% that affects you has a different weight than the other sides.
Yeah.
That's what you have to weigh.
Yeah.
Nobody's sitting here. No one is shocked. I know I'm not. There's probably a million. The dude's a rich, sleazy bazillionaire that has risen from he's fucked himself financially and come back from that shit.
Right.
He's banged all kind of women.
Isn't Melania like his fourth wife? Or am I
I think it's his
over-exaggerating?
third wife.
Okay. So, and I think that's kind of what he was known for. And I'm not like, never would I make any excuses for that. I think it's shitty and terrible and nobody should do that. But it's 0% shocking and nobody cares. Literally, like after they aired that interview, CBS 46 News or whatever cut in from Atlanta, and they were like, all the newscasters were talking about the Stormy Daniels interview, and they're like, hit us up on our Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you think. And they were scrolling through like the first like 5 or 6, and they were all like, who cares? Nobody cares. Next. Yeah. Like nobody, like this doesn't affect how he can president. Like how he can be our president. I don't think this.
No, I mean, it's the social media age. We're going to find out shit that we don't want to know about a lot of people. No. But I took 2 things away from the interview with her. First thing I took away, like what I learned, new information.
Her tits are gross.
That Donald Trump is obviously an idiot when it comes to that. He has a beautiful wife in Melania, who I think is awesome. She's beautiful, sophisticated. She's regal. She's done. I think she's an upstanding first lady.
She's
so
great.
Far.
Yeah,
very classy. And I hate that she gets drugged through all this.
Yes.
Now, every one of his ex-wives has made so much money in their settlements that's why you don't hear much of them trashing him.
No.
He has all these, agreements and, whatever they call it, where, they can't speak on it.
NDA?
Yes. And rightfully so. I mean, fucker's rich, and he sets them up.
Which she had, Stormy Daniels had an NDA, and then she
but
just said,
she took $1.50.
Yeah.
And now realizes that $1.50, I mean, I think she took $130,000. Now she's like, that's fucking nothing. I can sell this interview to
CNN.
Doucher Anderson Cooper.
Yeah. Foaming at the mouth for it.
And they'll pay me $1 million, and who else, I'll get 100 more gigs at the Pink Pony in Atlanta to come guest strip. And
I think she has been there before.
I'm sure, but that's the first thing I took away. The second thing I took away was that Stormy Daniels looks just like
Ivanka,
the old, beat-up washing machine down in our basement. Because she has taken a lot of loads. You can just see it. She has taken so many loads.
Yeah, she definitely looks older than she is.
Is weird. Her boobs have spread to her under tits. They're under her arms.
They're so huge.
But her teeth are Ross white from Friends. When they had the
like in a black light. Yeah.
They were so obnoxiously white, like, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Fix the other things first. But, man, that lady, I could feel the semen.
Yeah.
Running through her veins.
She's full of it.
She had no problems either saying, she flat out corroborated this with Anderson. Oh, yeah, I fucked him. Oh, I had no attraction to him whatsoever. He grossed me out.
She said, "Oh, I got myself into this." Like,
yeah, and she said she had no physical attraction to him because he flat out said, "Were you attracted to him?" God, no.
Yeah.
But she fucked him.
Because she was 27 and he was 60.
Because he's rich.
Yeah.
And she was young.
What the fuck did you think was going to happen when you went back to the hotel room?
Like an idiot, she flat out told Anderson Cooper, I'm a stink.
That's exactly what
I'm a washing machine.
But what?
Dump a load into me.
What I don't understand. I mean, I understand why people are drawing this comparison, but everybody just keeps bringing up Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and that whole scandal and him being impeached. And to me, it's irrelevant because that all happened with Bill Clinton while he was in office. That's why it was a scandal. This is not a scandal because it was, when was this? 10 years ago?
Yeah. 2007, I think, or 6, she said.
Yeah. It doesn't make it any less shitty to Melania or make him any less of a shitbag. But in that area of his life, and I mean, I guess I get if he, how can he run the country properly if he can't keep his marriage together? But I just don't ever think keeping his marriage on the up and up and being Mike Pence married as fuck ish has ever been even on his radar. No,
and we don't know if Melania knew about it and was just like, whatever, just keep paying me, bitch.
I feel like Melania is
whoever you want. I'm going to become a citizen and I want half. and go do what you want. I'll have my dudes, the masseuses, come in here and tickle my butthole while you're skiing and banging Stormy McWasher tits.
I feel like she seems way too intelligent to have been completely oblivious of this. I feel like she had to at least have been aware to some degree. But on the other hand, I feel like she's just,
Well, the biggest difference with Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, for one, Bill Clinton, they impeached him, all that. Nothing ever came of it. The dude is a beloved, still Democrat, despite everything that comes with the Clinton name. I even remember, though, when he was president, a lot of shit was good. I voted for Bill Clinton. I remember I loved him. Just because the dude was the first, he was Obama, minus 100, but he was the first cool kind of, hipper. He came on Arsenio Hall, was playing the saxophone, wearing the shades.
He was the first.
He smoked the reefer but didn't inhale it.
He was the first president with any kind of swagger.
And so but Monica Lewinsky really liked Bill.
Yeah.
She told everyone she was in love with, she's power, of course anyone's going to love the president. But she had aspirations for that, where Stormy Daniels just flat out said, I had zero attraction. This was all a plot by me. Wanted to fuck the rich guy.
Yeah.
And there was room in it from, and hey, God bless you. Yeah. That's your goal, and it's all consensual, whatever. But you got to own it, because you just said it on TV that you put a sign on your tits that said, bring it.
I have zero sympathy and care not about either one of these women that came out in an interview, but 1,000,000% about Stormy Daniels. Like, kick rocks, bitch. But this other girl, this Playmate girl, she was the opposite of Stormy Daniels. Like, she was in love with Trump.
She says.
And
she's full of shit. Trump is an ugly man. Okay?
She was in love with his wallet.
He has always been an ugly man. Good God, he's unattractive. So don't bullshit. None of these pretty. I want to see a nice Monica Lewinsky, chubby, borderline,
babe,
barely attractive, if at all, come out and say, I loved him. You know what? Maybe you did. Stormy McTits and
what about Melania?
Tanny as fuck. Melania loves Trump as much as you do. But she sealed the deal. It takes a special one
She closed that.
She was willing to accept the position as his wife.
Mm-hmm. How much younger is she?
She was offered the job, and she accepted.
How old is Melania?
I think she's in her late 40s.
Yeah.
Maybe early 50s.
And he's 70?
Yeah. Well, he's old as fuck. People bag on Trump because he
the
eats
oldest president.
Junk food. He's fat. Doesn't exercise. That sumbitch is healthy.
Okay, don't start like that Saturday Night Live skit where they acted like the doctor that came out and was like, he's so healthy.
Dude, he's had no heart. I mean, fucking W.
He did not pay me to. Yeah.
Who was athletic, ran all the time. He's had heart issues. He's had heart surgeries. Trump's had not shit done except for the people that do his hair every day.
Genetic, I think, with W.
Well, W's dad's still alive. Somehow.
Barely.
They are propping old George W. up in a chair and letting him grab asses and tell inappropriate jokes to chicks.
Him and Barbara Bush
He's a funny motherfucker.
Old as dirt.
Well, she's never going to die because she's the meanest Bush. She'll cut a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Old George's wife.
Yeah.
Mean as fuck.
I know. God bless her. I don't know, man. What else you got?
I don't know. Where are we at on time?
58 minutes, sir.
Okay. Well,
Ish.
we have a couple of friend questions.
Oh, we do? Okay.
So either we can just skip the just the tip, and I'll do one next time. We'll do the friend questions, if you want.
I don't care.
All right. Well, we'll jump into the friend question.
Quit leaning down.
First one, they can hear me fine. paid thousands for this.
Hold that shit up. Why do you have to lean over? You have arms.
Speaking of arms, Kelly Clarkson's Burger King arms really get to me.
Her T-Rex
on
arms.
The Voice.
She
is unfortunately built. She's a pretty girl. She can sing like a motherfucker. I love her, but her little hands and tiny arms.
She has T-Rex arms and Burger King hands.
And a different shaped body. And I'm not, fat shaming anybody because I think she looks just fine. She's had a shitload of kids in short period of time.
She's happier
and
now.
She can sing like a motherfucker, and she's happy and she's funny. But her little T-Rex arms, they get to me.
Yeah.
But they're funny. But yes,
she accentuates them with her white girl stank face.
Well, and I think it's the stylist to help it appear that she has a waistline. Put the belt, and it's right under her tits.
It's strategery, yeah.
Like when a woman, for some reason, when they're heavier, or if they've had kids, they up the waistline. But hers, they've raised it up. It's under her tits. Her
boobs
belt.
Just sit on it.
On her belt. So if she adjusts her belt, she's right here.
I think she's one of those short torso people.
She is. She's absolutely.
So there's not much more real estate to work with between boob
But
and
good God,
waist.
she can sing. She can throw down.
Yes, she can. All right.
All right. Brooke, when's the last time you saw Randall nervous? And what was it for? It's an interesting question.
Last time I saw you nervous, you were nervous to go on the Burt Show to some degree. Once we did it, you're...
I guess, but I wouldn't justify that as nervous.
Oh. Maybe, let me think. You weren't, I was more nervous about your surgery.
Yeah, I wasn't nervous about the surgery. I wasn't scared about it at all.
No.
I enjoy surgeries.
Yeah. He got his neck fused. They went in through his front neck, jugular area. No biggie to him. I was fucking a ball of nerves. God, when was the last time I saw you nervous? You were nervous for Griffin's first football game.
Yeah, probably. I think that's the only times that's actually interesting that you say that. Probably when him and Gunnar play is when I'm nervous.
But I remember you specifically telling me that you were nervous.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not.
And you don't ever say that. And
no, and I'm like that when Gunnar plays baseball.
Yeah, it's not like you were like stressing.
Hold me.
Right? But like that, you were like, I'm nervous.
Oh, 100%. I think that's the...
Did you have something in mind?
No. But I think that would be right. Both of those. I remember specifically telling you that for Griffin's game. I remember saying I'm more nervous than me playing.
Right.
And that's how I feel with both of them play sports.
If the question was reversed, you'd be like, when was the last time you saw Brooke nervous? I don't know. Every day for some reason or another.
No. If I thought about that, and I wasn't asked, but if they...
Maybe anxious and nervous.
If they did want to know when... I don't know if I've really seen you super nervous. Yeah. You don't really get real nervous. I'm lying. Whenever you have a job interview, for some reason...
Because that sucks.
Because I know how nervous you're going to be at the interview. Yeah. And so you start getting nervous like the night before. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I never see you nervous.
Yeah, it's rightfully so. Because then when I go into the interview, I completely shit the bed all over myself and don't get the job. So that's valid. I'm the worst at interviewing. So good at my job and so good at everything that qualifies me to do whatever I'm interviewing for. And then I go in the interview and I'm like, okay, hi, bye.
Yeah, it's hard for her to
not my strength
to sell herself.
Nope, not good at it. All right, what else we got?
For me, it's Randall. What makes you truly happy?
And
I've looked at this and I've tried to kind of think because I've seen it obviously longer than you. And I don't know. I know times the requirements for me to be happy. I know what those are. And I've told you before that it's odd and it's probably unhealthy. And I know that we have, the best relationship on earth. And this may not be a healthy way psychologically, but I've told you before that you have to be happy to make me, you're like my barometer.
Yeah.
And you're so rarely in a bad mood, but when you are, I can, a couple of
It
times.
ruins your life when I'm in a bad mood.
I've told you, like in the mornings of days where I can tell you're in a bad mood, which is rare, like you can't be in a bad mood because then I'm in a bad mood and you hate when I'm in a bad mood.
Well, because if you get in a bad mood, then it's so much harder to get you out of a bad mood.
But for the sake of answering that question, the barometer for me, and I'll always stick with it, is
whether I'm in
I need you to be happy first. That's the first requirement.
Oh.
As long as you are, then I have the building blocks. But if you're not, I'm going to be miserable.
Hosed.
And I don't know if that's healthy or that's probably not. But
well, but if that's what it is, that's what it is.
But if you're asking like what activities make me happy,
or what in your surroundings, or
now as I've gotten older, probably the things I like to do the most that make me happy. Just I don't know, I like
coaching Gunner's team.
I love coaching Gunner's baseball team.
You
It
said
definitely
the other day that
helps with the nerves. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I would. I can't wait till if he does decide to play football to coach that too. But the coaching him in baseball in the games is super fun and definitely makes me happy. But
yeah, I like doing the dugout mom thing. That's pretty fun. It makes the games go by way faster when you're involved like that.
But for me, like just what I do, I enjoy when we, have a good dinner and laugh, have a good, funny conversation with good, like-minded people that don't take themselves too serious.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. So there you go.
Simple, easy.
And the last one is from Shane, our good buddy. Brazeltits. Is, what is the craziest way you've ever been woken up?
Every time somebody says something like that, I picture that YouTube video of the tigers where the one tiger's sleeping. And the other one comes up and is like, hey, and then it just gets waxed by the one that was sleeping. That just makes me laugh so much because I know that's like, I'm super grumpy if you wake me up in any kind of jarring way. But for me, was when John was a puppy. And I was sleeping so soundly. John was a puppy, probably. He wasn't like baby puppy, but he wasn't full grown yet. He was probably 4 or 5 months old. Guess he had to pee and jumped up on the bed. He was trying to wake me up and I didn't wake up. So he peed on me. It was the worst way. I got pee on my face. Warm stream of piss on your face to wake up is not pleasant.
No, I can only imagine that not being.
He's lucky he's still alive. Mad. Yeah, he's lucky he's still breathing.
Yeah. For me, there's two. One involves John and one involves you. The one with John.
The other one was John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one's when we were awoken to John standing beside the bed because we had removed him from sleeping on the bed at all. And so he's just standing with his head there trying to wake you up, and he shits on the wall behind him.
Yeah, so he puts his little face on the bed.
Splatters.
And he's like wagging his tail, which shakes the bed, and I'm like, I can't get up, and he's whining, and I was sleeping so good. And I was pregnant. I was like 5 or 6 months pregnant with Gunner, and then all of a sudden I hear this like splatter noise and smell something horrible.
I woke to the smell.
Yeah, well, it turns out he had
projectile
diarrhea all over the closet door, which was behind him. And I promptly found out when I shot up out of bed that wasn't the only place. That
he had shit everywhere.
There was about 7 or 8 piles all over our bedroom, under the bed, all over the closet door, as we said. This was when we still had carpet in the bedroom.
It's why we don't have carpet anymore.
Why we don't have carpet anymore. But I was, 5-6 months pregnant. So like pretty big belly. Randall decided that he couldn't be in the room and couldn't be a part of cleaning it up. So I, big and pregnant, was cleaning up all this nasty shit from all over our carpet, cursing Randall so hard. I had to like move the mattress and because I couldn't crawl under the bed because pregnant, couldn't fit. Had to move the mattress to be able to get to the shit
I held it at
under
one
the
point.
bed. No, you
You're
left.
welcome.
You couldn't be in the room.
No, I did. Once you got a little bit of the stank,
Then
I came and
bolted.
held the mattress so you could burrow your way under as
Yeah.
a big pregnant woman.
Yeah.
But you have to tell my side of the story too here. You're turning this into a bash Randy pants. I tried.
That was the most mad I've ever been at you.
Now the whole reason he had the shits is my fault.
Yes.
I own that. I gave him like a whole rack of rib bones. But the night before, after being told don't do that, I did. My bad. Almost killed our dog. Shit everywhere. My fault. So then he just adds to it and he proves me wrong by nearly dying and shitting up our room.
Uh-huh.
But I tried to get under there when it first happened to be all right, I can't make my pregnant wife do this. I'm going to get down there and I'm going to clean this shit up. And I got down. It was a green, steaming pile of soup. Mm-hmm. And I just my eyes were watering.
Mm-hmm.
I was throwing up in my mouth. Mm-hmm. You have an iron stomach with that, loving animals. I don't love animals enough.
Well, I worked at vet clinics for
I know.
9 years.
My whole plan after I smelled that was, all right, we're going to build a new room and we're getting rid of the dogs.
We're going to burn the house down.
And we're going to get rid of the dogs. And this is fine. And everybody will be okay.
No.
But I got paid back twofold when I had to pull up the carpet.
Yeah.
You know that. I got my karma of you because
you were gonna
what
do
you
that
did
anyway,
was
so
definitely cleaned it up, but kind of pushed it through the carpet. And then
what the fuck else was I supposed
I
to
know.
do? It was
I pulled up the carpet while you were at work one day.
years later.
And I remember texting you describing the horror of rolling up that carpet and
Because it's not like that was the only time there was
Oh,
an
God, no.
accident
There's
in that
years of
room
pets.
of Emilio
Yeah.
going in there and lifting his leg on shit. Yeah, so...
But it's the warm piles of like puke.
John, yeah.
It's the temperature that
Temperature
gets me.
and consistency.
Yeah, when both of those are in the hot zone.
Yeah.
When it's a weird consistency and warm.
So
It's the same way with like cats. Hefner, when he'd throw up those huge meatball, hairball shits. And if it had sat, I could pick it up. But if it was new, even if I had like a bag over my hand, when that heat, it makes me gag.
it does.
It may not even smell, but if that thing is warm, I'm out.
Yeah. So yeah, John is responsible for 2 horrifying ways to wake up.
Yeah, the last one was one time Brooke woke me up because she tends to have like night terrors. And she'll wake up and rise like straight up from like the Undertaker when he would rise up from like a coffin. She'll sit straight up, eyes wide open, still dead asleep. And, there's been a couple times that she's like cussed at me or asked me, what am I doing? Or she's like, act like she's brushing bugs off of her.
That's
And
a common one.
One time she was climbing out of the window.
That one
Like
was
up onto her
so-
nightstand and about to jump out of the window. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening?
I almost broke the curtain
Had
rod.
no idea. That's how I was woken up to my wife climbing out the second story window on top of her nightstand.
Oh my God, that was so funny. And so I opened the window, and once the night air hit my face, it actually woke me up. And that was...
Well, now it's funny because you get you're almost now where when you do it, like especially when you like wake up and brush bugs off of you,
Or I wake up and I'm like standing on.
You'll wake up and then you're embarrassed, like you'll be like, oh shit, and you'll kind of look over and be like, I know I did it again, and you'll go back to sleep.
Yeah,
but it's hilarious because it's literally like on borderline sleepwalking. Night terror.
Well, I've always
Step Brothers.
Yeah,
it's almost that.
It's so close to Step Brothers. It's not even funny. Some of the things that very frequently I'll wake up and be like in the middle of like yelling something, or it's usually that. Like I'm usually in the middle of like yelling or screaming something, and like I have gotten out of bed and I'm, like you said, one time was standing on my nightstand, opening the window. Other times I've been like standing up next to the bed, like holding onto the dresser or the closet door, like because in my dream I'm like holding onto some kind of cliff or something. I don't know. But my whole life I've had a tendency to sleepwalk and do strange things like that. Like my mom used to get worried when I would go spend the night at a friend's house, and she would always be like, can you, be asking the parents if they had a gun or something, because she was scared I was going to like be sleepwalking in the middle of the night and get shot because they thought it was a burglar or something, because how my mom likes to over exaggerate things like that. But, there's one time, and I think it was like one of the first times like Susan and Jim were like hooking up. I don't know if it was one of the first times, but Susan and Jim, when they were dating, when I was in elementary school, middle school, were at our house in Memphis. It was late at night. I woke up. By the time I woke up, I had gotten in the shower. I still had my underwear on. And I was like starting the water, and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, like on a Saturday. And Susan comes in there like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting ready for school. She was like, A, 3 in the morning, B, Saturday, C, you got your underwear on, and D, get your ass back in bed. And I was just like, okay. Just like put my pajamas back on and got back in bed. But yeah, so I've always had a tendency to wander about and do strange things.
Yeah, none of it surprises me anymore. I almost don't even see it. But I think the most common is you waking up thinking there's some kind of like spider.
Yes.
I think it's because you're fear of spiders.
Yes.
Because it looks like when you see it and you're awake, like I'll still be watching TV sometimes, and
that's the
you
worst.
can tell the motion in your head is a spider, not like a little ant or a little weird feeling thing. But you'll wake up, be swinging at shit like crazy, and then realize, oh shit, I'm awake. And then almost try to play it off like if you trip on a rock or you trip on nothing, but you look back and try to point to the rock that tripped you up. Like you'll be like looking in the bed for a second, like on the sheets.
Yeah.
That's something that you know is not there, to try to play it off. It's pretty funny.
Part of it is trying to play it off, I think, in my half asleep state, and then the other half is like legitimately like I need to make sure something's not there, because that's a very common one, because I have a extreme fear of spiders, very irrational and illogical. They're poisonous spiders, but that's a big one. Spiders are no good for me, so anytime you see me waking up looking like I'm trying to get something off of me, probably 10 times out of 10 it's a spider.
We got to wrap this motherfucker up. It's 11:02.
Yeah, we got to go to bed.
We're 1,000,000 years old. But tell them where they can get us on social media, because I don't know the names.
Oh, yes. So like our Facebook page, Married AF Podcast. On Instagram, we are at Married AF Podcast. And on Twitter, we are at Married as Fuck. And that's it.
T-shirts.
T-shirts. Oh, yeah, the T-shirt. The T-Blaster. What is it? T-E-E blaster.com/Married AF Podcast. Yep. Our T-shirt. It's the Batman edition, superhero edition T-shirt. That Randall posted on Facebook and Instagram. It's pretty badass. I really like it. we
There's
ordered
3 colors.
There's 3 colors. What is it? Blue, yellow, and
No, it's Batman yellow, Batman gray,
okay.
and then pink, our breast cancer version.
I want a gray one.
We can order another one. We can be the one that buys all of them.
We can be, yeah. So it'll be available for 1 week.
Yep, it
They're
expires on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, they're $20. They're pretty awesome. So y'all should go order one.
That's pretty cheap.
I'm
for
excited
a t-shirt.
to get mine.
We're not making shit on that.
We're not making any money off of
that's
it.
just
It's
for
just
them
for
to make
fun.
them.
If you like
Melissa bought one for Kevin.
oh,
She posted it on
Kevin,
Facebook. She did buy one.
yay.
She's gonna take a picture of him in it.
I cannot wait to see his
She
handsome
got him
face.
a pink one, I think.
Perfect. He will look so handsome.
But yeah, order those. They're cool, and that way, if we sell a few, then they'll, continue to let us do these campaigns, and we'll make some different cool ones since it doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah, like maybe one of the
We can do Georgia ones,
37
Alabama ones. We can do
or
all
maybe
kinds.
one of the million that you spent weeks
Absolutely.
with your face and your computer.
I was a full-blown
making.
junkie.
Yes, good God.
I finally kicked the habit for
The
2 days.
superhero one's brilliant though, because it's actually
It is actually
that
us.
that is a picture of us from Halloween, not this past Halloween, but the Halloween before. That just Randall put in an app to make it cartoony, but that is us.
Yep.
So
It's that real shit.
yeah.
So pick up the merch, motherfuckers.
All right.
Well, cool. Well, I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
All right. Well, y'all enjoy the episode and fuck your mothers.
Bye.